Herman got wind of the fact his children were about to mount a major assault on the validity of the fake will, and to lie about his mental state. Clarence brought Herman up to date on the children's will contest. Herman was stung by his children's including in their claims an argument that he was senile. Do they really think that? Could that possibly be true? Sure, arguing dementia was probably a good legal strategy, but it still stung.
So I'm not all there. How curious. I feel quite present, most of me's. My thoughts still line up straight and clear, yet somehow I've disappeared. A useful thing, this vanishing. It grants permission, everything. If I am gone, then I won't mind. Convenient fiction for their kind. If sanity is what I give, then I've been mad my whole life lived, forgiving freely, building trust, and now I see what comes of must. Perhaps I'll step outside their view and learn what they would truly do. If I'm not there, then I can see exactly who they are to me.
Meanwhile, Wall Street News headlined the rumor that Whitestone Industries had been taken over by a dog. Herman watched on TV the artificial intelligence-baked fake news, purportedly showing the elaborate celebration of this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, our new chairperson, Mimi. Hear, hear to Mimi. Congratulations, Mimi. Well done. Hip, hip, hooray. Mimi, hooray.
Enough is enough. Time to end this charade and reveal, alas, that he hadn't died. There was a flaw in all of Herman's idea of a test of his children's loyalty. The possibility that one or more of them might actually suffer grief and loss by thinking he was dead. That certainly was the case with his daughter, Irene.
Thought I knew what mattered most, a name, a house, a claim to hold. I let the silence fill the room while love went cold, while love went cold. I wore my pride like it was truth, turned my back on what was real. But all the gold I reached to touch could never make me feel. I don't want the fortune, I don't want the fame, I don't need a title or a piece of his name. I just want the moment when I felt safe again, when I was his little girl, not the stranger I've his love again. I see it now so painfully clear, what I became, what I let go. I traded warmth for empty things and called it winning, called it so. But in the quiet of this room, I hear the truth I tried to hide. All I ever really wanted was to stand there by your side. I don't want the fortune, I don't want the fame, I don't need a title or a piece of his name. I just want the moment when I felt safe again, when I was his little girl, not this stranger I've been. If I let it all go, would he still let me in? Would he hold me like he did back then? I'd give back everything I tried to take, just to feel his love again.
Herman gets Clarence to assemble the children again in his office, ostensibly to discuss settling the will contest. They are predictably shocked when Herman walks in. Irene leaps to embrace him. The others sit frozen in their seats as he expresses his deep disappointment to them.
There was a moment, small but true, a breath of time I gave to you, a door left open wide and clear, for love or grief or something real here. But what I heard was something else, not loss, but quiet thoughts of wealth. Not one embrace, not one relief, just calculation dressed as grief. What you should have felt was love not gained, a sudden joy to see me again, a simple truth, a human plea, that I still was your family. But numbers spoke where hearts were still, and that told me all it
It didn't take long, however, for Herman to realize that the disappointment he felt with his children was rooted in his teaching values to his children that are fleeting, selfish, and empty. Late in life, he discovered the wonders that come from the unconditional love of an animal. And now, it was time to try that out with humans, with family.
I have to say, I'm dissatisfied. Communication between us It's gone dry. It's just not what it used to be.
Enough. You've said quite enough. All of you. I've heard greed, I've heard fear, I've heard desperation. And I've heard myself. You think this surprised me? That you would fight, grasp, turn on one another? No. I taught you that. So I needed to know if there was anything else left beneath it. There's something you should understand. The will isn't real. I wrote it as a story, just to see what you would choose. I built a world of wanting more and told you that was right. So when you reached for everything, you only matched my life. I set the stage, I drew the lines, you played the parts I gave. So how can I condemn you now for choices that I made? The will was never real, it was only just a test. And maybe you didn't pass it, but I love you nonetheless. 'Cause I've made my share of failures, more than I can defend. If I'm asking your forgiveness, I must give it in the end. I gave you wealth, but not myself, and call that being strong. But love was what you needed most, I knew it all along. And then a small and simple heart showed me what is true. No bargains made, no price to pay, just love, because it's you. She never asked for anything, no titles, crowns, or claims. Just sat beside me patiently and loved me all the same. Imagine that. The will was never real, so let's begin again. No more keeping score between a father and his friends. No more empty victories, no more silent wars. Just the chance to open hearts and finally be yours. 'Cause nobody here is perfect, we're all learning as we go. Except maybe that little dog who somehow always knows. And if love can be that simple, maybe we can try to give it without reason and receive it without pride. Come here. Let's begin again.
And so, they reconciled and forgave each other.
I love you all so much.
We love you too, Dad.
Let's get together. Come here, everyone.
Group hug.
This is what matters most.
I never want this to end.
Love you all.
Now don't think this is the ending. Though a happy one, it is not the only one. For it turns out that the rumors about Mimi being elected CEO and chairman of the board of Whitestone Industries was a PR masterstroke. Corporations everywhere were putting pets in charge. Turns out that shareholders are more interested in trust and truth than competence. So the fake news was turned into real news. Say hello to
All in
Mimi,
favor?
CEO.
Aye. Look at her, ready to lead. She has that triumphant look. Woo!
a guarantee.
And she lived happily ever after.